We have finally made it to opening week. Arizona Cardinals versus the Tennessee Titans, our very first regular season game for the 2021 season, and I'm absolutely super stoked about 6 days from now playing against the Tennessee Titans. Today, what we're going to talk about is 3 keys to success for the Arizona Cardinals, 3 things to look out for the Tennessee Titans, and obviously the big key matchups that I'm very excited to see this coming Sunday, guys. What are we waiting for? Let's roll that intro. Alright guys, welcome back into another video of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Before we get started on this week's preview, definitely do me one big favor, smash that like button and subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. I promise you we're going to come out with a lot of different content here, doing collaborations, post-game live shows, reactions, all that different stuff. So if you have not yet subscribed to the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, I highly encourage you to do so, especially if you're an Arizona Cardinal fan. Subscribe, put your post notification bell on, and just kind of sit and relax and watch this season unfold. Without further ado, let's go and just jump right into the topic of choice here. Let's first start off with things to look out for. Now, these are the things that the Arizona Cardinals need to game plan around in order for them to really kind of get down to the nitty gritty of who is the Tennessee Titans. Now, obviously, number 1 is going to be Derrick freaking Henry, King Henry, whatever you want to call him. This guy is an absolute beast, over 6 foot, over 220 pounds. This guy will maul you down and get an extra, 20 yards on the ground by pushing, your safety, your cornerback, whoever's in his way. He does not care. Now, he's going to be public enemy number 1 for the Arizona Cardinals. If we somehow stop him, I think that we can very well have some success. Little success, but I very well do think that, he is going to be their big focal point moving forward. So Derrick Henry is going to be where they are going to start, with their offense, just straight off the bat. That's who we need to look out for. And so basically our linebackers have their work cut out for them. Zaven Collins, Isaiah Simmons, Jordan Hicks. Those are going to be probably the top middle linebackers that are going to have to know where he is at all times. Now, second thing to look out for, and it kind of coincides with the run game with Derrick Henry, and that is going to be play action from Tannehill. And I can tell you right now, he's probably one of the best at doing it in the game, especially because he has Derrick Henry back there. If their run game gets going, my goodness, we don't want to get caught up with play actions because, let's be honest, everybody, if that happens, my things to look out for, number 3, also kind of coincides with this, is basically their passing game can get going. And they just got Julio Jones this last offseason, and to pair him with A.J. Brown, it's something that I don't want to think about, especially with, Malcolm Butler retiring out of the blue, basically not wanting to be a part of the Arizona Cardinals any longer, which is kind of unfortunate because it kind of left us in a sticky situation in our cornerback group as of right now. So play action, we got to make sure that we don't fall for it, and I'm hoping that Zaven Collins, Isaiah Simmons can basically roll out with them or come back on the opposite side and basically cause a sack. Because I'm going to be honest here, guys, the Tennessee Titans defense really doesn't scare me at all. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game from both offenses, the Arizona Cardinals as well as the Tennessee Titans. And now we're going to move on to the 3 keys to success for the Arizona Cardinals to possibly come out with the win. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, this is going to be a very, very first hard matchup for the Arizona Cardinals. The Tennessee Titans are a playoff team, and some people might even say they have aspirations for their Super Bowl. But who knows, with, the Kansas City Chiefs out there, there's still some really high-powered teams that can very well take them out of the playoffs, but there's still a very well-balanced team up and down. So I think throughout the NFC West, the Arizona Cardinals really have a tough matchup for week 1. But keys to success here is going to be obviously number 1, stop Derrick Henry. It's obvious. I mean, there's definitely no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Derrick Henry is going to be their number 1 focal point from their offense moving forward. So as long as we can stop him, I think that anything else opens up for our Arizona Cardinal defense. Keys to success number 2 is going to be we need the Arizona Cardinals offense to get going super, super quickly. I know I've seen it multiple different times last year where, it takes a while before our offense actually gets clicking. So that needs to kind of get going really, really fast. we can't start up in the second quarter. We can't start up in the second half. We need to make sure we put some points up on the board because that's what the Tennessee Titans are going to do. They're going to put up points with Derrick Henry. They're going to put up points with their dynamite of wide receivers and A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. So we got to match up with what they do. So with that, we need DeAndre Hopkins to get going. I want to make sure that he burns every single cornerback that they have over there. And Kyler Murray also needs to get the run game going as well because I think there was some sort of stat last year that if Kyler Murray rushes less than 30 yards, then we usually lose that specific game. It's really, really weird, but it's kind of a very important stat. So Kyler Murray needs to get going with his legs. Obviously, I don't want him to be a number one, run first type of quarterback, but we still want him in that scenario where, he can very well use his legs to get out of the pocket and gain 5-6 yards in a drive. Success number 3, get run game going. Chase Edmonds, James Conner. I really don't know exactly how they're going to use them. It might be a 60-40 split with Chase Edmonds being number 1, but I'm very curious to figure out what James Conner is going to do in this specific, team, in the scheme of the Cliff Kingsbury's offense. So that's going to be my key to success number 3. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a number 4 as well. Our cornerbacks have the work cut out for them. A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, one of the biggest acquisitions that they got in this last offseason. They need to shut them down. I know it's easier said than done. I completely get it when it comes down from that because they are, superstars, especially Julio Jones. But A.J. Brown is a wide receiver that is up and coming, and he's definitely going to go ahead and make a name for himself. So cornerbacks need to stick it through. The way that I see this, planning out, I think Byron Murphy might be on A.J. Brown. Julio Jones might get Robert Alford, and then we might have Marco Wilson in the slot, but they need to lock it down. Plain and simple. Now let's move on to the matchups that I want to see here for this game. It's going to be obvious here. I think Derrick Henry versus the defensive line / Zaven Collins. I want to see what type of physicality, passion that Zaven Collins brings to this game. We saw it a lot during the preseason game, well, especially during the Cowboys game more than anything. Obviously, we really didn't see him during the last one because it was canceled. We didn't really see him that much versus the Kansas City Chiefs game, but I want to see what Zaven Collins will bring to the table. I like what I've seen from him in the Dallas Cowboys game, but we need to see that, translate into a regular season type of game. So Derrick Henry versus the defensive line as well as Zaven Collins. Really excited to see that matchup here. Next one is going to be our cornerbacks versus their wide receiving core. I'm very curious to figure out what this is going to look like because that's one of the biggest pain points going into the season is that why hasn't the Arizona Cardinals gotten any more cornerbacks with the retirement of Malcolm Butler? It kind of leaves us in that situation where we're left with Byron Murphy, which I have all the confidence in the world in, but he has been a slot type cornerback. And then we have Robert Alford coming in here that has not played a full NFL game in 2 straight years, which is kind of concerning to me. And as well as we might be rolling with Marco Wilson. So really excited to see how that's going to turn out here for the Arizona Cardinals. So those might be the biggest matchups that I really want to see. And obviously the biggest one is going to be DeAndre Hopkins with any of their cornerbacks. And I think that it might either be Christian Fulton or Janoris Jenkins in terms of who he's going to be lining up against. But DeAndre Hopkins needs to have a huge game. That's who our number 1 guy is going to be. DeAndre Hopkins and obviously Kyler Murray. They need to make sure that they get their chemistry going straight from the bat. And I'm really excited to see this game here, guys. So my prediction, I know I said that the Cardinals might lose this game, but as long as we keep it close and as long as we match point for point with them, I'll take this loss on the chin. But if we win this game, I'm absolutely super stoked to see what the regular season is going to come out to be. But Arizona Cardinals versus the Tennessee Titans, 6 days away, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Put everything in the comments below. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.